Hi, I'm Daniel Nix, your average household non-expert, and we're basically going to be covering a lot of household projects. If you're like me, you've got a ton of projects around your house that need to be done, either something new that needs to be built or installed, or something that just needs to be maintained. And sometimes we can save a good deal of money if we learn how to do it ourselves rather than calling somebody else to do it. What I'm going to do is help you figure out whether or not it's going to be a good idea to call the experts. So what we're going to do for starters is just cover your basic tool set that any man in any house has to have. Of course, I could be missing some things, or maybe there's something I might have that you say I do just fine without. But that's your opinion, and this is mine. And so without further ado, I'm going to present to you my tool set. First and foremost, one of the most essential tools I could say that you'll need is some type of drill. No matter what you do around the house, things need to be hung, screws need to be tightened, and if you're like me with a 1.5-year-old, you've got to baby-proof your house, and it's just not going to happen with something like this, that you can actually screw stuff into cabinet doors and make sure they're nice and secure. I don't really use this all that much, but I just wanted to show you that basically this is all that you might need. Just something, this is nice because it kind of comes at an angle and you can screw or drill, but what I typically use is this guy. I mainly use it because it was a gift, but it comes with a nice little 12-volt battery pack that you can take in and out, and it comes with an extra, and so they're rechargeable, very powerful. And I also bought a quick loading bit system that if you, I don't know how well you can see that, but basically I do a lot of stuff where I'm going to have to drill a hole and then put a screw right in it, and basically it is just very simple. If you take your bit, it has something to where it will lock in like that. It's not going anywhere. Do what you need to do. Pop out the drill bit and put in your screwdriver bit, and just like that. It's like a magician made it. Next, one of your keystone items is this little guy called a hammer. I don't think I need to explain how to use this, but just in case you do need to know, you hold it like so and you hit something like so, so long as it's not your thumb or anything on your body that might hurt. The good thing about a hammer is anybody who possesses one, at least any man, you get about 50 man points. I've got 4 of them, and so I'm about 4 times the man that any one of you suckers are, and this counts as a hammer too, even though it's got a nice little jaw grip. It's really more for demolition. I don't think I bought a single one of these. They were all given to me as gifts, but I think I use them. But yeah, get a hammer, and if you don't have one, I'll let you borrow one of mine. Next comes pliers. What type of plier do I need? That I'm not sure of. But I do know the names of the different types of pliers, and maybe that'll help you. For starters, you have flat nose, also called slip joint. A bigger, better version of the slip joint is your tongue and groove plier. It moves in and out, adjustable width, so you can get your really big things down to your really small things. You've got your combination pliers. These are called combination pliers because they do a combination of things. They can grab and crush, or they can snip right off, or they can do both at the same time. You've got your needle nose pliers. Not too sure why they call them that. And then finally, you've got your side cutters, also called snips. So, best to keep these away from the ladies. Alright, any old fart is going to tell you, best to get a good set of socket wrenches, son. And they're right. It's always good to have some good socket wrenches on hand. However, there's been a new invention come out in years past that I really enjoy. I'm not going to tell you the brand or the name of it, but it's basically an all-size socket wrench that you just dial the wheel on the very back and it adjusts the size to whichever socket size that you need, because the angles are going to be always the exact same. And then it works the exact same way. And so I usually keep this on hand for some of the smaller projects. Just any bolts that I know I just need to get out real quick, because it's nice and strong and sturdy too. And so just keep that in mind. If not this, then get you a good set of socket wrenches and listen to those old farts, because they know what they're talking about. One cheap little tool that's really going to come in handy for you, just in case you don't want to get your drill out every time something that needs to be tightened up, is this little guy here. You can find them real cheap at your local hardware store. It basically is a swappable screwdriver that you have a large end that if I'm doing a project and I've got to tighten up a Phillips head, but then I see something from the 1960s that used a flathead and I can use that, or the entire thing comes out if you have a smaller size of each. And so it's really cool to keep on hand just to be able to use real quick and then put back away in your tool drawer. Alright, and finally, one handy dandy little item that you're going to want to keep on hand is a level. If you're ever putting anything on a wall, you want to make sure that it is square with the ground and the ceiling, otherwise it's going to look ridiculous. Levels can come fairly cheap at your local hardware store. You just want to make sure, as with anything, test it out to make sure that it works as it should. A quick way to test if a level works, set it down on any surface, doesn't have to be level, and if you notice the bubble might be over just a little bit, just kind of button up to this, this side line over here. If you turn it around and it does the same thing, then you know that your level works. And you may also know that your surface isn't level, so you might need to make some adjustments. But all in all, we got ourselves a good level here, and now I can do some good work with it. And say you don't get a good level, there's always a good way to fix that, and it's real quick. You just make sure you keep your receipt and take it back, because it's junk and you need to get your money back. Well, that's it for now. Like I said, feel free to comment and add your own suggestions of what tools you keep around the house, but that's just kind of a basic starter set on what I keep just to do everyday projects and tasks. I look forward to doing more projects with you guys throughout this year, and hopefully we can learn a thing or two. And just remember, if I can, you can, and if you can't, make sure you contact the experts at www.10list.com.